This is a story about a criminal enterprise. Untaxed product, smuggled across state lines. A supply chain investigator spent months on this. And finally, the great state of Wisconsin finally kicked the door in. And the contraband here? Beer. In Wisconsin. And frankly, if you're like me and you know anything about beer, Wisconsin has some great brews. I mean, right now I've got a fridge full of Spotted Cow, and you cannot take it away from me. But this total bill, this tax scheme at the center of all of it, per the guy who owns the beer place, is under $500. Yep, Wisconsin's most dangerous crime boss is going down over the tab you might run up at a Buffalo Wild Wings. Meet Kirk Bangstad. He owns the Minocqua Brewing Company and tap rooms in Madison and Minocqua, and I hope I'm saying that right for our fans in Wisconsin. And as of this week, he has 0 permits to brew his beer. The state revoked both, plus his warehouse permit, effective August 4th. Now, you might have already heard of this brewery because it's the place that spent January promising, quote, free beer all day long, the day that he passes away. They didn't give a name. They didn't have to. Everybody knows whose wake they're pre-gaming. And that wasn't a one-off. This bar's got a back catalog in this genre. One entry earned Bangstad a sit-down with federal agents this year. You can look those incidents up yourself. I don't want to get in trouble here on the algorithm. But for this free beer promotion, this brewery did have to speak back out and issue a correction. They had to change some things. And this part really got to me because it wasn't an apology. It was more along the lines of a logistics update. Because the Minocqua Brewing Company clarified that it is only their Madison tap room that they'll honor the free beer all day long because Madison is open year-round. However, if it happens during the summer, it happens, the promotion will be at the Minocqua location as well. And frankly, I laughed at that part because somebody cross-referenced their seasonal calendar against this hypothetical funeral. And by the way, this got me thinking about a great website that's also pre-honoring that day when it comes, built by the great Toby Morton, doing great things across the internet. Check out thetrumpobituary.com. It's great. And that website calls itself a living obituary and future memorial with chapters like the presidency, cognitive decline, the Epstein years, court cases, and a section titled The Promises, which I assume loads instantly because there's nothing on it. And Toby's putting up billboards. Toby, you are a beautiful, beautiful human. Never change. But back to the beer. I've got to talk about this beer because I looked them up. They've got a whole politically themed menu. At Minocqua Brewing Company, Evers Ale for the governor, Tammy Shandy for Senator Baldwin, Antifa Oktoberfest, Abolish Ice Grapefruit Goza, which is both a beer and one of the most Madison sentences ever printed on aluminum. And they even have a sparkling water called Nope, Not My President. I really hope this guy is working on a stout in back named somehow after mail-in ballots. And I know you guys are creative, so if you owned this brewery, what is the beer and the name you're adding to the menu tomorrow? Purely to ruin the Department of Revenue's week. Put it in the comments. But look, this story does have a serious turn because in June, investigators seized every can this company had. 25 grand worth of beer gone. And it's stuff that they hauled in from an Illinois partner, apparently without the right paperwork. And this partnership with this Illinois partner only existed because Wisconsin already banned this man from shipping his beer out of state. And that's why I've never had the pleasure of trying it. Yet, the state, they didn't fine him the $500. They didn't send a guy with a disappointed look and a clipboard with triplicate forms. They simply revoked his entire legal ability to sell beer in Wisconsin. And I am sure it had nothing to do with his political antics. Now, fortunately, Kirk Bangstad is not going quietly. He calls this an absurd act of heavy-handedness. True. He says that the violations, quote, can only be described as laughable. I did laugh. And then he gave us this, and this is exactly as it's written, quote, we're going to fight the state of Wisconsin tooth and nail, and once again, they'll have to pry me out of my tap rooms before I stop selling beer to thirsty progressives who come to visit us. End quote. Pry me out of my tap rooms. This man is treating his beer like the Alamo. Davy Crockett with a growler. Sign me up, sir. And by the way, the MAGA side of the internet, they have lost their collective shit with joy over this. Gateway Pundit running a headline, all caps, karma. An entire ecosystem that has been furious at this one Facebook page, a small brewery in Wisconsin for months. And now they are throwing a parade over a damn beer warehouse permit. None of these people have been this excited about tax enforcement in their goddamn lives. You will not find one of them celebrating an oil company's paperwork, not a single one. But this, Wisconsin, is your criminal mastermind. The man who put the progressive platform out on tap as a beer flight. And he ran free beer on a hypothetical funeral, and he could lose everything. Over $480 and a Facebook post. Lock him up, right, Trump? And do me a favor, subscribe, because if his place really does go dark in August, Bangstad's first act better be brewing one final batch out of pure spite, naming it something that I probably couldn't say on this channel, and I will personally think about driving to Wisconsin to drink it. Depends on my schedule.